Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jere B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. We're going to be talking in the next few videos about the dynamics of the EntreMusician and your band. As you know, the EntreMusician is that person that could be the leader of the band, or maybe that person in the band who is actually designated to go beyond the instruments, to go beyond the rehearsals. You are the one who books the gigs, who maintains the website, makes sure that the rehearsals are going on point, making sure that the band gets paid. Everything that has to do with the business of the band, you are that person. So in the next couple of videos, what we'll be doing is discussing the dynamics of the band. Okay, so we talked in a few previous videos about the EntreMusician and your team, those who are designated to help you in business and finance. But now we're just going to talk about the band. But before we get started on that, please know that today we're going to have a little bit of fun. We've been in serious conversations. We've discussed a lot of serious stuff, the discipline and mindset of the EntreMusician. We're going into serious talk with respect to the dynamics of the EntreMusician and the band. Today we're going to have a little fun. But before we do that, you know, I was going to bring it up. Vocal sponsors all of our videos. Vocal is the only beverage on the planet which is designed to soothe, refresh, and restore your voice. I hope you got to peep out the interview we did with Jere Thompson. Check it out. It is on this page. But let's have a little fun, okay? Here's a blog that I did a couple weeks back and got some great feedback for it. I figured I'd turn you guys on to it as well. Here are 14 guaranteed ways that you will not be called back to a gig. If you're sitting there and your phone is not ringing, if you are not getting any text, something has dried up, perhaps you have committed one of these great crimes. Now, I've been on both sides of the fence, I must admit. And wisdom, all this gray hair here, has taught me to avoid these 14 ways to not get called back to a gig. Number one is arrive late. Hands down, arrive late. No explanation needed. Depending on the band leader, you won't get called back. Number two is attached to number one, and that's make several excuses for your tardiness. Any excuse will do. You know, my wife, my husband, whatever, my kids, just make any excuse, and that's attached to number one. Number three, be unprepared. Okay? Be unprepared for the gig. Number four, make at least one excuse. Any excuse will do as to why you did not learn the repertoire for the gig. Number five, show a general disrespect to the person who hired you. And that person could be the band leader, or if you're the band leader, that person could be the club owner or the promoter. Show up with an attitude of disrespect for the person who hired you. Guaranteed. Number six, arrive inebriated or become inebriated as the gig continues. Okay? Check that one out. Number seven, develop or maintain a crappy attitude that continues to worsen as the gig goes on. Number eight, use tons of profanity, especially on stage, especially on the microphone. Now, I gotta say something about this because there may be some genres of music where you use a ton of profanity in your act or as part of your stage show. I get it. But use tons of it excessively, even in that environment, okay? Watch what happens. Number nine, ridicule any or all members of the band from the microphone. Number 10, bring a spouse or significant other to the gig and argue with them while the gig is going on. Now, you might think, the brother's exaggerating. Not exaggerating. Seen it happen. Number 11, return to the bandstand late after the second set or third set. Just, you know, it's like akin to number one. But you've had your break, you're going to do another set, and you don't show up until the rest of the band is on stage. Just try it. Number 12, openly squinch or wince or glare at the bass player when they hit a wrong note. Just try it. Number 13, aggressively offend any or all audience members, either from the stage or even off stage, and especially if they deserve it. It doesn't matter. Guaranteed, you will not be called back for offending the audience. And number 14, drum roll please. Number 14 is have in your mind that your unprofessionalism will be overlooked because of your chops and the way that you're just playing and serenading the audience during your solo. In fact, going even over and above, my girls call that going extra, being extra, far above what's really even necessary, and thinking because you're the most brilliant musician on the planet that the band leader or the club owner or the promoter did not take into account your terrible attitude, your unprofessionalism, your arriving late, and think that that's going to save you. Try it. Try doing it. Try saying, I am the greatest, and see how far that actually gets you. Only Muhammad Ali was able to get away with that. Be professional. Be on point. Don't arrive late. Do your job. Know your material, or else you don't deserve a callback. So those are my 14 guaranteed ways that utilizing these things, you will not get called back to the gig. My name is Jere B. I am the EntreMusician, and so are you. We'll see you next time.